seminar series called Symposium. Esteem is the Solar Decathlon Society of Heriot-Watt University, and we participate in the SDME competition in Dubai by building a smart home to tackle problems of climate change. Our aim through Symposium is to elaborate our field of expertise and provide a learning platform about the different technologies, principles, and ideologies involved with Esteem. We will have a practical learning interactive segment at the end of today's seminar, and you can ask any question related to the topic to our guest speaker. We'll be recording our seminar as well. So if you want to refer it later or show it to your friends, you can see a snippet of it on our social media platforms or ask us for the recording link as well. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our guest speaker for the seminar today, Pietro Furfaro, who will be speaking on digital marketing. Pietro is a tech savvy and has experience in international and digital marketing. He handles the content creation for our team Esteem. He'll be covering topics like search engine optimization, advertising, content, social media, and email marketing today. You can drop in any questions you might have during the presentations on the chat box or just raise your virtual hands up on the Microsoft Teams feature. And I'm sure Pietro will be happy to answer them all. So over to you, Pietro. Good luck.
Thank you very much for your introduction first. And well, without any waiting, let's begin. So I present myself to you, even though it was already on. My name is Pietro Furfaro. I come from Italy, and I started my journey with Team Esteem at the end of February, and I'm still with them, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. However, I was selected to carry on digital activities by digital marketing means. So what I'm currently doing is most of the time I do create content and I give ideas, as we are a team and we act as a team. Therefore, it's not only me. However, this presentation will be totally done by me, and I've had also the possibility to collaborate with Jairis Alvarez, which is one of our team leaders within the teams that we have in Team Esteem. So what is digital marketing? Why do we need it? So let's swipe to see more. There are keywords to learn when we face up to digital marketing. And it's very simple anyway, because it's marketing carried online. So every activity that we have seen until the beginning of this century, until the beginning of the 2001, 2002, let's say, that then it developed in other ways, such as search engine optimization, which is SEO in an acronym, or also search engine advertising, or PPC. There are three different ways to say this type of marketing, or content marketing, social media and email. All of these things are very important keywords to learn when we're facing digital marketing itself. However, I'll give a very brief explanation of what are these things that you're actually reading at the moment and understanding them and why they are in this way. When and where? There is no official date nor a place. Although digital marketing started around the century, I was previously saying, and generally speaking, it started out in the United States of America. As we know, the US are a country made for pioneering and designing new things that will lead later on in the world, generally speaking. There is no industry or specialist or any kind of professional that works in this field that knows where and a date when all of this becomes something. However, it has become popular with the explosion of e-commerce platforms such as Amazon or Zalando. We have also to be aware that Amazon started its own digital means, such as AWS, which is a platform that Amazon uses for themselves, but also for people who want to sell on Amazon. And there are other ways inside Amazon to make money thanks to their platform. But so what? So what are the things that I was explaining before, such as SEO or SEA or so-called PPC and content? So SEO is basically organic search. Basically, one person, oneself, a society or a professional does not pay the owner of the engine. And you have to think about the engines such as Bing or Facebook or Instagram to be ranked. What does it mean to be ranked? When we go to a page of Google, we use Google search engine to make our query. We make a query, let's say I want to find the best burger in my city, so I write add burgers in Edinburgh, or I can write best burger in Edinburgh, and so on. So Google takes this query and makes out a search out of it. The people who are interested in being ranked for that search will either invest in SEO or SEM or search engine advertising or PPC. What is the difference? The SEO, the first one, you don't pay. So it's basically trying to rank without paying Google a single penny of advertisement. Whereas the second one, it is used for the people who have a business interested to be ranked and they pay. The actual bargaining price to do that, it, it's quite generally speaking not always the same. It's actually a tender. So you are tendering with other competitors within the same market for the same keywords that you want to be ranked at the same time, and you make a bid. And don't fool yourself, because the bid doesn't have to be the highest to be the best one. It has to be the most pertinent one for the type of search that the user, which is you sometimes, will be doing. So if I rank myself on the name of my place that does burgers, I might have a better possibility compared to my competitors because my name is unique compared to the others. However, let's go to content marketing, which is done via content. What does it mean, content? Once Bill Gates in 1996 said, "Content is the king." What he meant with that sentence in a book that he published in 1996, he meant that all of the things that we are seeing today online are basically content. We see videos, we see images, we see GIFs, we see Instagram stories of our friends. Those pieces, even though they have a rationale behind or no rationale behind, they are content. Every now and then that we publish a photo on Facebook or Instagram and we modify it, or we just add the filter, we are creating content. It is quite different when businesses do so. However, it is always content. And it can be anything, as I said. It can be also memes. Maybe you don't believe that, but there are substantial data to support such statement. Memes are the most relative way of content in 2021 and 2022. According to Hotsuite, which is a business platform to understand the data and search online, has ranked that memes are the second way of engaging content for users because they are very easy to make, but you can really easily make a wrong on it. However, let's go. What is social media marketing and email marketing? Social media marketing is based on social media platforms, whether they will be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so on. So every platform that involves people together, to gather together in a social place that is carried on online. These platforms have usually a basics for organic and pay-based advertisements. However, the most known platform, which is Facebook, carries most of its activity via paid interaction, not from the users, which is us when we are interacting as users, but for businesses. And as for this, Facebook created since 2011, 2012, it has been renewed many times, Facebook for Business. So the business suite for Facebook people that want to have a business on Facebook and they carry their activities and industry via Facebook. So if you want to book your preferred hairdresser or any other kind of services that you can think of. However, Facebook is not the only platform, but it is the most used one because it's practically, if you ever seen the movie of how Facebook was created, so the social network it is named by, you would see how the business relies on these things. The business model of Facebook is users are the product, whereas the businesses give that product to the users instantaneously, not leaving the platform ever. Let's go to email marketing. Email marketing is actually carried out via certain softwares such as MailChimp, which have a template because usually email marketing, historically speaking, has always been done by programmers who actually know how to program an email. Therefore, using languages such as HTML or CSS to give it a better outlook when one user goes to see that. So they are basically those emails that you subscribe to your favorite magazine or to your favorite TV show or to a certain platform that you just buy things on, whether that will be Apple Store or Amazon or any other provider who has an interest in gaining leads and, of course, conversions and therefore money from users. So it is basically when you receive your emails from Amazon because you ordered something and they want to know your review onto that, or they mail you with a certain discount for a certain product that maybe you have seen on that. One thing to keep in mind is that the best place, the best entrepreneur who does email marketing is actually Amazon. If you go now, if you Google online Amazon, you see that Amazon website leads you to a conversion in about 2 or 3 clicks, but they invest 70% of their activity is done via email marketing, and they use MailChimp as their software. So what we use the most? Well, we in Team Esteem, we use mostly social media. And why? Because social media marketing is the best tool within the digital marketing for many businesses and individuals or not-for-profit organizations. However, as many will suggest, it really depends. It depends on the mission, on the statement, on what you're doing. So, what happens offline? On one hand, thanks to social media marketing, please keep in mind this, something comes up which is word of mouth. So you start to speak with your friends, with your relatives, with your peers, with every person that you actually are aware of. And you exchange opinion and thoughts with them on what they have seen online. And basically, they're doing the marketing for your project, for what you are doing, without paying a pound for it, because you are doing this. So after some time, these people have seen online content and the word of mouth made its way out and it starts to make an impact. And a brand or an entity gets more followers, people or users, as we might like to call them, and more likes, and hence it gets more recognition. So since the start on LinkedIn, especially speaking for us in Team Esteem, we have started in February. We were having about 190 something followers. Today we have more than 350, and as far as I can recall, as I checked yesterday, we have about 350 followers, which for the size of our scope and business and mission, it's actually amazing to have so many people, because I can honestly not understand how we have so many people, but maybe the reason for that is because we're doing a good job and we're trying to do the best that we can and deliver results in the best time possible. However, on the other end, what does happen online? People or users start to go on search engines to seek information. So they go on Google, they go on Bing, just for example, and they see our content, they see our videos, and more about the brand or the entity that they were informed about. So let's say that you go to speak with your friends, peers, and relatives about Team Esteem. Maybe, just maybe, they will go on Google and they will start to search our name, and they will see on the first page our LinkedIn, our Facebook, and Instagram, and they might click on that, and thus we get recognition from Google for that specific keyword search that has been carried out. However, another feature that makes it interest is digital marketing itself. So practically, we see users getting in touch with the content that we realized time prior, and so they can create an engagement with the entity while giving it a greater space in the digital media. Every now and then that we receive a follow, whether on Instagram or on another platform, we receive an echo within the platform, because this is the way that the algorithm works, especially speaking for LinkedIn and also on the other end, Instagram. And why again? The biggest startups invest on average 75% in social media marketing. Why is that so? Because startups don't have a lot of financial resources. Therefore, what is the thing for that? Many of the startups, as they don't have a lot of money, they do invest in social media marketing because it's basically free. The only thing that you have to pay on one hand could be Canva. So Canva Pro doesn't cost a lot of money, or if you wanted to do things with more proactiveness or just being more independent from the software that you're using, you can use, if you are able to, the Adobe package such as Premiere Pro or any other features that Adobe gives to you. And this is actually true because it's supported by HotSuite, the site that I was speaking to you before. What if influential people do say in the business? So I took out three people who, according to me, are very well known in the business of digital marketing. The first one is Paul Gillen, which is a business to business content marketer with more than 20 years of experience. One of the things that he says is transparency may be the most disruptive and far-reaching innovation to come out of social media. What did he mean with this? What is the meaning behind this sentence? Is that the more transparent you are, the more you get people and users to see what you are able to and why you're doing it, and not only for the sake of money, you will be recognized to do so, and people will start to follow you and get interested by that. However, Cami Watson-Huizy, the CEO of Zoetica, said, the first rule of social media is that everything changes all the time. What won't change is the community's desire to network. So the first thing is to build a community which is in total interested and in love with what you do, no matter what. So things change and they change in a fast way. They change rapidly. It takes time for us to adapt to those changes. But the change is happening right now at the moment that I'm speaking. The only thing is that you have to adapt to those changes as soon as you can, or basically you're out. The third person that I've decided to quote is Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary is a person that left when he was very young, the USSR, still the USSR was in place, and he went to America. His father was an entrepreneur, a very little entrepreneur. He had a shop in California where he was selling wine. Gary, at my age, at the age of 27, was literally stocking shelves of wine. And now he's one of the biggest entrepreneurs in social media and digital marketing all over the world. And he's currently very, very wealthy thanks to this never-ending motivation. However, he said, the biggest thing I can tell you is that you have to make as much content as possible. So there are different ways of looking at this, but I rely much onto that, onto this thing. You gotta create way more and way more content because every piece of content that you create, you get better. You have new ideas. You deploy and display these ideas better than you did the first time. It's just like riding a bike. Once you learn, you never stop to learn every day that you go on this bike. So we in Team Esteem, we are in desperate need of social media marketing because it's more than any digital marketing tool. Digital marketing has helped many businesses and organizations in the last 20 years. It has given to us the same benefit to be known by businesses and individuals because thanks to this, our partners, our gold and silver and bronze and so on and platinum partners, they are with us. They comment on our posts, on the content that we create, on the means of social media. We have grown our audience since we have implemented a digital strategy. And for most, this is why we need digital marketing, because we get recognized by others and not us. Recognition on your own, it's not needed. If you look at yourself in the screen and you tell yourself that you're beautiful in front of the mirror, it might help you, but for like 10 minutes. So you will not have a help for a long period of time. You need recognition of others and also critique from others because you have to understand when you're doing something wrong. However, yeah, everything is wonderful, but how? Here are some examples of successful pieces of content we have published at LinkedIn, which resulted into an increase of followers and general interaction. And by interaction, I mean a share, a like, a comment on a post. So we can clearly see here that we had 92 reactions as a like, let's say, for LinkedIn, 8 comments, 61 and 2 comments on this other piece of content, which are a bunch of pictures, very simple, but super clear on what we do. So we are a team of mostly engineers who are reshaping and rebuilding the future of sustainable house. And also, our video got a lot of interaction, and the best part of it is that we had a lot of visualizations for it. And please keep in mind, I took this shot on our video 2 weeks ago about, so it might be very different now. The same goes for this other post that I've attached to the presentation. So we're effectively, oh sorry, I forgot the E. We are effectively building a brand identity thanks to digital means. Team Esteem. Thanks to digital marketing, we have grown our followers from 190 to 366. Today, at the age of today, we have 380. So we have grown even more, 14 units on LinkedIn in less than 6 months. Please keep in mind that growing followers on LinkedIn is the hardest thing ever, because LinkedIn is very much focused on just work. So you can't really share things that are not related to work. Otherwise, you get targeted for something else, which doesn't have anything to do with you. It's a teamwork of success because it's not merely digital marketing. We, as a team, have made such thing possible with time, dedication, and patience. And obviously, of course, our diverse and different skills have made such results possible. I might be a marketer, let's say, per se, but I wouldn't have done a job as good as this with the influence of other people that are pursuing this with me, with the brilliant minds that I am working with. And since February, March, we're making the use of hashtags, which was not done before. And thanks to that, we are having a key help when we are building a presence on social media without even paying for it. We in Team Esteem, we never paid for one single penny of advertisement on the platforms that we are doing our job on. And we are unique. When we make a comparison between us and the competitors in this challenge that we are actually facing, we can clearly see that we have always made unique content. And why? Because we see what our competitors do and we just see a copyfax on what they're actually doing. So what have we learned? That digital marketing is helping spreading our mission, our aim, and our goal. There are many things we have done as a team. We have established our name between the competitors. We have built the possibility to be better seen with our unique graphics, videos, in simple words, content. We have done many things digitally speaking, though we have still to pursue the path we have decided to follow as a team. Team Esteem. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll stop to share my screen now, and you can have the possibility to drop me any question that you might have. I have to see if there is something in the conversation because I'm not aware of that.
Thank you, Pietro. That was indeed a very descriptive and informative presentation. For me personally, like I have just handled Instagram and Facebook, but today I realized that email and content marketing is also so beneficial for growing a brand online. So thank you for that. Moving on to the interactive session now, we had received a couple of questions in the registration forms as well. So I would like to ask that, but all the attendees here, you can also just raise your virtual hands or just type in your message and Pietro will answer them shortly. So the first question that we had was how to increase and maintain the engagement in the social media platforms.
So it really depends. Like many things in digital marketing, it depends. So we have to take into account a certain digital platform because all digital platforms they have a reason behind, and the reason behind is the algorithm. So no, everyone quotes the algorithm, but no one of us really understands it. So the best thing to do is always to keep first a strategy which is very much pertinent to the mission. So if we, let's say for example, if we in Team Esteem, we use certain kind of hashtags such as Team Esteem or do what matters regarding to our university, We can't use, let's say, University of Edinburgh in the next post, because that will say to the platform, oh, okay, you have changed the ways. Why did you? What's happening? So the best thing to do is always to drop very good quality content which is genuine. And by genuine, I mean something that you or your team made up without actually thinking just only about the content itself, but all the surrounding of it. Maybe writing a storyboard for the content if we're speaking about the video, and then working towards to that. Having good material is not always the best. So you can have the best video camera ever, but you can be the worst video editor. So all of the videos that you have done will not be very good when you edit them. Therefore, it really depends on the platform that you are using. But if one wants to be better and having some more engaging content, it really needs just to be engaging content. I think that we have a question.
Yes, we do. Yeah. John is asking, do you think digital marketing would overshadow other forms of marketing in the coming years? And how crucial would digital marketing be for a company that could be born in this era to gain customers?
Okay, so first thing first, digital marketing is not overshadowing other forms of marketing. There are many societies that they do both. So they do offline marketing, such as print marketing, so advertisement on boards, let's say, and they also do digital marketing. There is a possibility, I'm not lying, that digital marketing might, only might, perhaps close up to marketing as it was once done. But as things tend to change in time, we are going to see a swift to digital means, whereas the offline means might be used less, because there is also a discrepancy between the two. Offline marketing is very much costly and there is no metrics. We don't know what leads to conversion to a certain sale. Whereas on the other end, digital marketing as this. If you implement Google Analytics tag in your website, you know how many people from where, at what time, what device, uh, at what time they were doing certain things on your website, and you know everything. So you have the possibility to actually use a metric to understand mathematically what is happening on your site. And it's not only Google Analytics that does that. You can do that on LinkedIn. You can do that on Instagram platform. So that's the real discrepancy. The numbers, the possibility to understand how users interact with your platform and what are their activities that they carry online. So let's go to the second question now, as I have addressed the first one. How crucial will digital marketing be for a company that could be born in this era to gain customers? Well, it is honestly super crucial, and it is the best thing. The best thing is to create a buyer persona. What is a buyer persona? It's the typo, the archetype of your customer, your possible customer. You can call it whatever. You can call it Jamie, Susan, Pietro, whatever name, okay? And you shape the form of this person based on the interest that this person should have based on what you do. So if you are, let's say, a competitor of Dyson and you are creating products to work on a certain thing, so like you are creating the new super great hair blow dryer, you would for sure not targetize a bald person. You will targetize a person who has hair, who maybe has a certain wage in a certain time being. So a person who makes at least 35 or 40K a year for the United Kingdom way of wages. And why? Because your product has to be compatible to Dyson's product, and it has to be compatible to the people that you are actually addressing to. Therefore, the best thing when creating a product or a service and investing in digital means, you gotta understand to who you're selling, why you're selling, what's the mission, how much pertinent is your strategy, and give yourself room to fail. Because failure in this particular case is the mother of success. Thus, if you fail, don't give up. Just try again, fail better. You fail again, try again, fail better. Never stop. Okay, so we got another question, I think.
Yeah. So Sonia has asked, as previously asked to increase engagement, which one does one need to focus on? Quality or quantity of content being uploaded?
So, in the last 5 years, exempting 2020, so we take from 2014 to 2019, quantity was way better. Why? Because the way that Facebook and Instagram, especially speaking regarding these two platforms, the way that they were actually reasoning, it was quantity. So the more you post, the better, because the more you post, the more we repost you, the more you have the chances of people that like you like your thing, or they comment it, or they share it. Whereas now, in the last 2 3 years, so from 2019 until nowadays 2021, quality, it's way better. It's useless that you post very bad pictures or with very dim light, or a video that doesn't really care about you every week, or if you have to do it every week, just do it quality. So it's better to go for quality right now. The trend might change, but for now quality is the best. It's useless that you really push out online the same type of content, whereas quality will also suit better. So if we think about us, we started to post more, but more quality content. So if we think about Team Esteem, we have reshaped our strategy, and we are now building up a better way of doing our content. And you can see that on also big and medium and small entrepreneurs within Edinburgh, let's say. So if you go to see some little entrepreneurs or bars and cafes, and you see the change that they have done in the last 3 years. So swipe down, down, down. See the way that they were doing posts 2 years ago. You will see posts every day, maybe 3 or 4 posts every day. Whereas now you see them posting once a week or twice a week, a picture or a graphic video or an infographic with very much attention, very detailed attention. So let's go for quality now over quantity.
Perfect. That's very true. So we have some more interesting questions here. Which social media platform should a business or organization have its presence on, and why?
I would say at the moment there are three platforms that a business should be on. First platform is LinkedIn, for obvious reasons, because LinkedIn is the platform for working reasons. Second one is Facebook, and the third one is Instagram. And when I say Facebook and Instagram, I mean separately into that, because Facebook has a certain target audience, whereas Instagram has a different target audience. Why is that so? Facebook, generally speaking, has people which are aged from 16 to 35 years old when speaking about businesses, whereas Instagram has a way younger generation. So we go from 14 years old of age until maximum 35. In the worst case scenario, we go to that group of age. Therefore, it's better to have distinct messages and not the same messages on Facebook and Instagram. The first one that I've quoted, which is LinkedIn. LinkedIn has to be professional yet friendly. So you don't have to sound that you're actually speaking or making an address to the Queen, but still, you are speaking to an audience of people who are there for search working reasons. So they want to know about things that are related to work. So don't go into certain platforms to make yourself visible just because you want to brag about, but make yourself visible because you have a mission to carry on, a goal to carry on. So businesses, when they interact with the social media platforms, they try to start over trends instead of following them. So making the trend instead of following them. And very little businesses do so. And these businesses are super huge and big. The thing that you have to take into account, if you go 1 year ago, when the pandemic was on, go to see every business ads of medium to big enterprises. They are all the same. And why? Because the first ever company who did this type of advertisement led the way for the others. The first one was actually Nike, or Nike in the British way to say that. Nike is for our American speakers. Therefore, good to see that. Good to see all of those advertisements. And now people were reacting them. After this reaction, after a week, a digital marketer from Sweden, I think, or that part of the planet from the Nordics, put up all of these advertisements and made a video on YouTube, which every COVID-19 advertisement is the same. But, but he excluded the Nike one. Why? Because the Nike one was the first one and the original one.
That's that's good. Okay, so we have another one. Is it fruitful to buy a list of subscribers when starting a social media page?
Never. Never, because it ruins. You are buying boats, not bought. You mean that one that you go on when you're sailing? It's not, because you are buying computers making a certain interaction that Instagram can detect or any other platform can detect, and you can risk a lot. You can risk that your account is disabled forever, or that your name, so your personal information, can be forever detected outside. So you could never subscribe again to that certain platform with the same credentials. But how can you change your name if that one was given at birth? So never do that. There were people who did that, and now they are paying everything for that. There is a very famous fake marketer, which for my bad luck shares with me the nationality, but we're not the same. His name is Mirko Scarcella, and he managed to fool people, very successful, very, very rich people, into this kind of scam. So what he was doing, he was saying, I will make you, the biggest Instagram stars, and we do this and that with Instagram because we work directly on Instagram. Don't worry about it. But what he was doing was actually buying fake people, fake bots, which were just going into the platform, putting a bunch of likes, putting a bunch of followers, and then commenting. And most of them were either of Asian descent or around the globe, but they were not real people. So they were just bots. When he was captured doing this thing, the best thing happened. He is now serving a 4 year imprisonment in the US. And when he will be off from the US and he has to be retook here in Italy, he has to serve either 3 years or paying a fine to the people that he scammed. So no, it's not a very good idea.
That's true. Very well said. Okay, so the next question is, what is the best time and which is the best day to make a social media post to get the maximum reach?
Um, there are some arguments about this. There are some arguments about it is better at morning, it is better at 2 p.m., it is better at 3 p.m. The reality is why it is better at a certain time, because there is the possibility that people start to pick up their phones, and what they do when they pick up their phones, they take the phones when they wake up and they see their notifications, and they go into the platform and they scroll down and up and up and down, and they can see your post and maybe like it. However, this thing sometimes has been dismissed. And why it has been dismissed? Because it is partially true. So if you put up a picture at a certain day and time, it might be better. But the real thing is make great quality content and then upload it and see what happens. So that is the real thing that one should do and one should follow as a rule.
Yeah. So I just have one more question, but if any of the attendees have any more questions or doubts, just feel free to drop a text on the chat box or raise your
Yeah.
hand. So the last one that I've got here Is there a place or website where I can find a list of keywords related to my social media content which I can use while posting on social media?
There are many sites. Some of them are free to use for a trial, whereas some others are to pay for. What I would say is that if you have the possibility to pay, always pay, because those softwares are made to carry on this activity. One of the page that I will address that is the best one is actually Screaming Frog, which has a trial version for free for about 1 month, and it's very much useful for different ways of doing carrying activities online. The second one that I would advise, but it is a bit more expensive, it is SEMrush, and I'll read it out right here. This one is one of the best ones. It is used by so many companies, and by so many companies, I mean companies such as Ultimate Ears, or maybe you will not believe it, but Apple, or Boss, or Bossy, the audio hi-fi entrepreneur. So there are many companies who use this kind of tools. Sometimes these companies don't really realize that they could create and build their own, but they use these ones because they are better and they can create a better partnership together. Also, if one wants to use, there is a certain tool for Instagram, which is not keywords for Instagram, but if you type it onto Google, you will find on the first page of list for sure SEMrush, and you will find other type of pages which can help you to deliver such results. However, what I would say is go on Google Trends, easiest one and super easy to use Google Trends, and you can make comparisons between countries with certain keywords. But Google Trends doesn't take only Google. Google Trends takes all of the echo of the keywords and the words that are used to make a search wherever the search is done.
Okay, so that's it from my side. Is there anyone else who wants to ask any question? You can just unmute yourself and ask any question you have. Or Pietro, if you have one tip for all the new generation who wants to just start on the social media platforms, any tip that you have for them right now you would like to give?
Don't think that you need a MacBook Pro or the best phone or the best video camera to make good content. You sure need technical equipment to make some of these things, but the best thing that you gotta have is a mindset following an idea, a mindset which follows an aim and a goal which is pertinent, and on the other end, not only pertinent, it has to be real. So make yourself aware of what you're doing before you do that. So if you want to build up, I don't know, a trademark for, I don't know, jeans or t-shirts or hoodies, whatever, think about the product that you want to sell and why people should buy it, why people should use your service, why people should use your product instead of others, because you will have always competitors, always. It is impossible in our Western societies to not have competitors when you do certain things. You will always have one who came before or after, and you gotta see what they do and do better. How to do better? Well, still, we didn't recognize how to do better. Therefore, what I would say is always try to do better. Always, always, and always.
Thank you, thank you. That was really very helpful, Pietro. I think with everything being so virtual due to the pandemic now, it becomes even more important to know the basics of digital marketing to promote any business or work or project well. And I'm sure this seminar has helped everyone who's present here to learn a lot about it. So I don't see any more questions. So I would just like to thank all the attendees for taking some time out to come today. And if everyone's comfortable, can we just like turn on our camera so we can take a picture for our social media page? If everyone's comfortable with that, I don't see many people Hi, Riz, if you could turn on your camera and everyone else who's present here, that'd be great.
Sorry, I'm working on this side, but
That's okay. Okay, I will just take whoever's here. Everyone can just smile. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so just to wrap this up, we will also be releasing our crowdfunding page soon. So if you'd like to donate any amount to help our team build the smart home, we'll be grateful to you. Kindly follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter to get updates on the upcoming seminars and details about Esteem and the crowdfunding website. We are Team Esteem. We hope you enjoyed today's seminar. And if you're interested to learn more about digital marketing, community engagement, and building a brand online, do attend our next seminar, which is going to be on the 11th of June at 11 a.m. GMT, where Vishal Raj will be speaking. Vishal Raj is the founder of Fireflies, which is a marketing agency in Dubai. So I hope I'll get to see you all again there. And with all the cold relaxations coming in, I hope you guys enjoy your summer. So until we virtually see each other again, take care and thank you all once again for joining in today. Thank you, Pietro. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Have a good
thank
weekend to
you.
you all.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.